Hello, welcome to my channel. I have a horrible background. Don't hate me for it. Because I'm hooked to a charger. It's the best I can do right now. Today's video is more on the serious side. I know I love to joke around. I try to make light of everything because you know what? It's how you get through life. But the thing is I even take this very seriously because to me, what it is, it doesn't exist, yet all of society tries to be it. And you're probably wondering, what the hell are you talking about? The word perfection. I mean, everyone knows what perfection is. What it's, said to be. And we're all encouraged since we're young to be perfect. To be the perfect child. To be the perfect daughter, the perfect son. The perfect whatever. It doesn't exist. It exists in here. Because that's what we're taught. That's what we're taught in school. That's what we're taught at home. And look at where it's got us today. Look. You have kids younger than 10 killing themselves. One, either because they're bullied, which is very high, or two, they just can't take the pressure of home. And I know people are like, you shouldn't be talking about that type of stuff. Well, it's true. It's what's going on. You have kids younger than 10 killing themselves. And, I mean, even as teenagers, they're killing themselves. I mean, and teenagers have come out and said it's because, besides bullying, the parents want perfection. That's what they want. They want perfection. They want a perfect son, perfect daughter, doing everything perfectly. Perfect grades, perfect at sports, stuff like that. Because they want them to have the perfect life when they're an adult. That doesn't work. You think you're the perfect, let's say, you think you're perfectly gorgeous. Okay? You have the ugliest heart. You think you're perfectly healthy? Okay, yeah, well, there's people that are perfectly healthy, you're dropping like flies. You think you have it perfect, financially? One wrong move can take that all away. So, to me, there is no perfection. There isn't. Because this is how I see it. You have, let's say, an ice cube in your hand. And I'm a parent, so I'm going to say, pretend it's your child in your hand, okay? Or children in your hand. And your other hand you put on top. And that hand is perfection. And you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. What happens to those ice cubes? They melt, they break, and they crumble, and then they disappear. That is what it's like to force perfection on children. Because it's something that doesn't exist. And if you're trying to sit here and make someone be something that isn't real, they're just gonna fight and fight and fight to be that, and then break. Because it's unachievable. And you can say, oh, well, I have the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect house, and stuff like that. In your mind, yes, that's what you have. In reality, that's someone else's hell, or someone else's chaos, or that's not a life worth living. And, imagine, this is another thing. I'm only saying this because my son is really into sports. and I see this so often, it breaks my heart. You have a kid who just, let's say my son, he enjoys basketball. He loves basketball and football. And you have a dad or a mom out there yelling at their child when their child is doing the best they can and they just want to have fun. They're being yelled at because they're not doing it right. They're not perfect. So what happens? They get punished. And some punishments are physical. Some are you are outside practicing until you get it perfect. I've done that a few times with, I'm not saying with my kids, but I've had that done with me a few times. You're doing it until you get it perfect. That was a good one when I was younger. And it's like you're crushing your child. You see my son out there, he's having the time of his life. He's having so much fun. He loves it. And then I see so many kids crying because they have a grown man or a woman in their face saying, you're not good enough. You're not doing this right. And it's like, I can see it in their eye. I've been there. It's like, but I'm doing my best. You know, isn't that good enough? No, to the parent, it's not. I mean, because you have, like, let's say a high schooler. And I understand if the kid is good at sports, they have a really good shot of getting a scholarship. I can see being a little hard on your kid, but when you have teenagers crying because they don't feel like they're good enough, there's something wrong there. Because usually what that is, what I've seen, is because it used to be, let's say, the dad. The dad is really pushing his daughter or his son, pushing his daughter or his son really hard. And he can say he wants the best for his child. Okay, that's correct for a few people. But then you have the ones who they had that dream in high school or college to be a professional and be perfect. And it was crushed. And now look at them. They're overweight and they're miserable. So they're yelling. It's like the freaking, what do you call them? The stage moms with the little kids and everything, you know, the little beauty pageants, because the mom wasn't good enough. So now she's forcing it on her daughter to be good enough. That itself, sports and beauty pageant right there. Because you know what? Because it didn't happen for you and you're pushing it on your child, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking as a parent to see another child cry, and even in elementary school, because some parents take it way too seriously. And there's kids my son's age crying their eyes out because they have a grown man or a grown woman in their face yelling at them, belittling them. Because, just talking about it pisses me off. Because it all goes back to the perfection. And it's, to me, I don't expect my children to be perfect. My children screw up, I screw up, my husband screws up. I get frustrated sometimes, but it's like, okay, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and force something on my children that I've had to go through when I was younger, because I've been there. It sucks. And it really is heartbreaking. I mean, we all want the picture perfect child. I say it all the time. My kids are chaotic. They are. They're kids. I mean, my son, when he was starting preschool, he had a mohawk. And then it turned up into a purple mohawk. Because he likes purple. So I'm like, yeah, fine. You want to do your hair purple? You can do your hair purple. And my daughter, she dyed her hair too. And it's not because, you know, to me, obviously, like, I'm not sitting here striving for my children to be perfect. I want them to express themselves, to be individuals. You know, not to sit here and be cookie cutter. And I've had so many parents come up to when both my kids had their hair dyed and said, "Oh, that looks so cool." I remember going into Walmart and my son had his purple mohawk up. And all these women were like, "Oh my God, we love your hair," and stuff to my son. And my son had the biggest smile on his face because people liked his mohawk. And sadly, now he's at the age where what people say about him affects him. And what his friends don't like, he doesn't like, type thing. And my daughter, right now, she could care less. She's at the age where, yeah, everything's embarrassing, but at the same time, she don't care. She lets her freak flag fly, and I let her. Because she's a kid. I mean, as an adult, I wish I could do the stuff I let my kids do. And I wish I could have dyed my hair and stuff. And when I was a senior in high school, I did dye my hair. I got kicked out of the house because I dyed my hair. Okay? It's like, let your kids express who they are. And if... I don't know why we as parents are pushing so hard on these kids to be something that, in my mind, doesn't even exist. It doesn't. You can sit here and strive to be perfect all you want, but when you die, you're in the ground like all of us. You're not going to be on some pedestal in a coffin or an urn. You're going to be 6 feet in the ground or scattered somewhere. That's what it's going to be. And nothing is more, honestly, like, slap in the face than that. Because you strive to be so much and have everything in your life that you've wanted since you were little. You could die tomorrow, and would any of that matter? Honestly. Because you're striving to be perfect. You can't take it with you. You take what you have in here with you. And in here. You can't take material things that make your life perfect. I mean, my house isn't perfect. Right now it's a mess. It looks like a bomb went off because my kids went through crazy. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend I have a perfect life. My life has its ups and downs. I just wish the word perfect and the need for perfection, I wish it didn't exist. Because I honestly think we would be better off. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that's a reason for everything. Like, you know, kids wanting to off themselves and stuff like that. You know, because bullying has a big thing to do with it. But bullying goes right back to perfection because you're not perfect enough to hang out with these kids. And I'm just... shouldn't have done that. But, if you're someone dealing with the whole perfection thing, and if you think similar to me, or if you are just striving to be perfect, I mean, it's okay that you're not. I'd rather not be perfect than fake it. I mean, look, I picked a zit and now it's bleeding. I'm not perfect. But, I mean, going to school for my son, where I live, everyone is very uppity and very, like, braggy about their life. I'm not. I'm not going to sit, I mean, people, they see me in scrubs and they're like, "Oh, you work in the medical field." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, what are you?" And they automatically think I'm a nurse. I'm like, "I'm not a nurse." I'm like, "I'm a CNA." And they're like, "Oh." and they like do the up down look and then walk away. It's like bitch, please. If I had to, I could save your life. But just because of that, I'm not. The thing is, yeah, I can't even talk. We may not, me and my husband, have what people consider perfect, but it's perfect for us. Because our kids know we love them. And our kids know they're safe with us. And really, that's all kids need. Love and to feel safe. I mean, obviously, besides food and everything else. But ease up on your kids. I mean, it would break my heart to see my son bawling his eyes out because someone is yelling at him because he's not good enough. The thing is, and so, oh my God, I see anyone do that to my kid, I will freaking lay him out. I will. And I'm not saying that because I baby my son. I'm saying it because people, as adults, we suck at, helping our kids. We try to have our kids be, like I said, something that doesn't exist, perfect or good enough. When the kid's just trying their damnedest to make you happy. That's sad. That is heartbreaking. To see the look of, my parents don't think I'm good enough. Mommy and daddy don't think I'm good enough. And it's heartbreaking. It truly is. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Is think about the word perfection. And is it worth it? To me, it's not. Because it doesn't exist. And it's just something that was shoved down our throats when we were in school. And so it's still being shoved down kids' throats. It was shoved down kids' throats since the friggin' dawn of time to be perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. You're not going to be here forever. Enjoy the life you have. Enjoy the ones that are around you, your children or your spouse. And forget the need for perfection. I guarantee, yes, it might be unsettling at first. Stupid airplane. But, if you're like a perfectionist and you just have to have something done a certain way, try a week to go without wanting to be perfect. It'll suck at first, but afterwards it'll be like a piece of cake. You'll be like, oh my God, especially if you have children. I mean, your kids will be being kids, and there's no I want to say cure, but I mean, they're kids being kids. Let them be kids. And if, like I said, if you're sitting there and you're like in a household and you're being shoved to be, have perfection and stuff like that, just realize you don't need that. This world is not perfect. This world is screwed up. And it goes down to even in nature. Mother Nature is not perfect. I mean, look at her. She could be picture perfect at times. But look at all the things going on around the world. You have tsunamis, you have earthquakes, you got tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards. Even thunderstorms. That's the chaos that the world needs, that Mother Nature needs. Us as humans, oh damn, I don't like where we're going. Just put it that way. Because the strive for perfection is so high that, it's actually killing us. Stop trying to be perfect. Enjoy life. Enjoy what you have. And don't take stuff for granted. Because one day you're here, next day you're gone. And I'm telling you right now, I'm around a lot of death at my work. I deal with it a lot. It's very humbling. Let's say that. It's very humbling. Being there for a person's last breath. Even if, they thought they had a perfect life, it all ends. It really does. And you can't take perfection with you. Perfection, in a way, is just materialistic stuff. And you can't take that with you when you die. And I'm telling you right now, the people I take care of, they don't have a lot of stuff. And they are the happiest people. And you got people who have way too much stuff just to make them feel like they have perfection. And then after they die, it causes nothing but issues. Because people in their family are striving to be perfect, so they want that stuff. And it does nothing but fight. That's all they do is fight. So, just think about the word perfection and what it means. Because I honestly don't see it. I don't. As a mom, as a person, and as a CNA, I don't see it. And I was there when my children's lives started. And I'm there when adults die. In between that is what you make of it. And going out, or coming into this world and going out, are two beautiful things. And you may not think that, but for me as a CNA where I work, it is. And if you wanting to be perfect makes you happy, trying to find it, I feel bad for you. Because I'm living life. I'm letting my kids be kids. And what happens, happens. We're all fated for one thing. And it's to die. And how we die is already planned. And you may not know it, but it is. We're all fated to die a certain way. And wasting your life trying to be perfect, that's not a life worth living. Be yourself. Have fun. You only have one time around. Enjoy it. And I'm sorry if this video is too dark for some people, but honestly, it's something I think about a lot as a mom. And, because you never know. Like I said, be happy, do what you want, and forget the word perfect. Forget it. And I tell you, your life would be so much happier. You'd be more relaxed than you ever were. At least it works for me. And if you're in the, type of family that forces it, find something you like. Find something that makes you happy and tell your parents or whoever, this is what makes me happy, and go from there. They might not like it, but stand up for yourself. Because what your parents dreamt of for themselves is sometimes isn't what you want. And they'll try to force it on you because they couldn't live it out. So, just remember that. and no one's perfect. And I hope you guys have a good day.